In part 2, if you are discussing any sporting event that you have enjoyed, then in part 3, you can be asked about sports. In part 2, if you have been asked describing a precious item, then in part 3, your topic would be shopping. In part 2, if your topic is your favorite teacher, then in part 3, you can be asked about education. In part 2, if you are describing your trip to museum, then in part 3, you can be asked about tourism. In part 2, if you are discussing about your favorite TV program or movie, then in part 3, it is expected to describe about the technology. So this is how part 3 is or proved to be an extension of part 2. Let me explain with the help of these sample questions. Like in part 2, if you are describing about your favorite teacher, then the question would be about education, like how are education priorities different from those in the past. In task 2, if you are describing about your favorite sport, in task 3, the question would be what steps are required to upgrade neglected sports. If in task 2, you have to describe